nam-myoho-renge-kyo, 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 nam-myoho-renge-kyo.
Hi, I'm Margaret, and this is the website where, as always, we take Buddhist philosophy and practice and apply it to the problems and concerns of everyday life. Today, our topic title is, will you recognize it if you're veering off the path of faith? We're going to discuss the ways we might veer off the path of faith and become deadlocked in trying to achieve a goal. For the purposes of discussion, let's just take the goal of resolving a difficult relationship. One of the signs that we're veering off the path is when we're chanting but also blaming other people or our environment for the situation. In effect, what we're saying is the situation is their fault and they should change. When we blame other people, we're looking outside of ourselves and avoiding the challenge of tackling our own inner darkness. In my midlife, I was married to a man who couldn't uphold his end of supporting of the family. I blamed him and tried to get him to change. I was looking outside of myself. Nothing happened. It was when I decided to take control of my own financial future, look at the causes I was making, everything shifted for me. He never did change, but it didn't matter. My reality was completely different. If you're trying to change other people, you're forgetting the concept of oneness of self and the environment. That your current circumstances are arising from causes you've made in the past, and that the causes you're making today will create your circumstances in the future. Dwelling on and repeatedly talking about those circumstances you don't want is setting causes in the present for those conditions to continue in the future. So rather than chant looking at what you want to get rid of, chant for what you do want in this situation. For example, let's say you're dealing with a difficult family relationship. Instead of chanting for the other person to change, chant for a harmonious family. Grumbling and complaining gives rise to doubts and disbelief. This means you don't really believe that everyone, even difficult people, have the Buddha nature. When doubts and disbelief arise, you don't really believe the goal is possible or that you have the power to solve it. You feel disconnected and alone. This belief arises from fundamental darkness, and it's vital that you resolve these doubts. If this behavior continues over time, it can act as a brake on your growth. When we forget about doing our human revolution and advancing and improving ourselves, we've closed off our own potential and have fallen into seeking the law outside of ourselves. A third way of veering off the path is looking to have your prayers answered through the transcendental powers of a God or a Buddha. This would be practicing dependent faith and also looking outside of yourself in a different way. When we do this, we avoid looking at the problem and aren't making an effort to challenge the situation. You're sitting around expecting another being to do it for you. You're ignoring the fact that we have to change if circumstances are going to be different, because they change from the inside out. These kinds of outwardly seeking, half-hearted prayers leads us to deadlock. When we look outside of ourselves, we've forgotten that we're one with the great power of the mystic law within. And as you know, in this practice, we look within to the mystic law, not to something outside of ourselves. Here's what Daisaku Ikeda says about the mystic law in Life and Enigma, A Precious Jewel. This was a book that he wrote fairly early in his presidency of the SGI. Quote, "In the innermost depths of all beings, there's the primal life force, and it causes living beings to live. The same force supports inorganic matter and works it into the harmonies and rhythms of the great cosmic existence. In Buddhism, it is called the mystic law. When this force manifests itself in the physical world, it appears as the laws governing the inorganic world, which makes possible chemical compounds and controls the physical pulsations of the universe. In other words, the laws of physics, chemistry, and astronomy are simply particular phenomenal manifestations of the mystic law of the cosmos. Similarly, the life force constructs the world of spirit, creates intelligence, gives birth to conscience, gives force to urges and instincts, and thus creates all variations of mental and spiritual activity. It's what's called God in other religions, but it's different from God in that it's perfectly immanent. It exists within the cosmos and in human life. It's not a force outside the cosmos. It is the cosmos itself. Unquote. We all have this infinite intelligence within us and have the great power to create our lives as we wish them to be. So ask yourself, what are you giving your attention to when you're chanting and during the day? Is your attention focused on the problem rather than what you want? Are you focusing on the absence of what you want? If so, you're forgetting that in accordance with 3,000 realms in a moment of life, what you give your attention to grows. Give your attention to what you want, not to what you don't want. When faced with a real challenge, we must attack it with everything we've got, with all of our energy and determination. This doesn't mean just chanting about it, but chanting while being aware of what we're projecting to the universe, paying attention to the ideas that come, and taking action on them. In summary, today we've looked at the ways we might be veering off the path of faith. The first is chanting but blaming others for the situation. We're looking outside of ourselves. The second, just forgetting the concept of oneness of self and the environment. The causes we've made in the past have created our present, and the causes we're making now will determine our future. The third way is having doubts and disbelief that everyone has the Buddha nature and that you have the power to change the situation and meet your goal. And finally, praying to a transcendental God or Buddha outside of yourself. Outwardly looking prayer leads to deadlock. In this practice, we look inward to the mystic law. This is called God in other religions. This power is not outside us, but rather within us and the cosmos. And finally, pay attention to what you're focusing on so you can create what you want, not what you don't want. And attack that challenge with all your might, paying attention to ideas that come and taking action on them. Here are some other vlogs that might be helpful. Faith Slipped, 6 ways to get back on track. Eight warning signs that you're manifesting what you don't want. Know the warning signs you're battling fundamental darkness. And do keep your comments coming. If you have an answer for someone's question, please post it. We can all learn from one another. Please do not advertise other venues. And I'll see you all in 2 weeks.